It's called magic. Some places have more magic than they should. For our own good, I mean. That's the only way I know how to say it, and ever will. Sometimes it's a magic that shows you God's face, a magic that shows you the rotten teeth of witches, and that would just as soon kill you as look at you. A magic whose plans for you you'll never understand. A magic that plays with you, teases you, haunts you for months or years, tries to change you into something you're not. And you don't know whether you're supposed to laugh, or cry, or run, or just stand there and let it have its way. A magic that makes you write stories when you're young, feeling it for the first time, and keep writing them until the day you die, because it has stories it wants you to tell. The little fishing village on the Ligurian coast of northern Italy was like that. But when you're 12 or 13, you don't know any different. You think life is supposed to have magic. You think there are supposed to be forces you don't understand, and grown-ups who can wield them. At that age, you barely know what's real or not, especially when you're the kind of dreamy, bookish, animal-loving kid I was, and you take what life throws at you. Your mother crying over your baby brother who died when he was 1, cannot stop crying and gets angry so she won't be sad. The man without a throat down by the wharf, a red handkerchief covering the hole in his neck, his handkerchief slipping as he talks to you, which he does by spitting air, by making words that way. Your teacher, a hunchback who, with a lisp that softens everything he says, teaches you and the other boys in the little gray classroom with its single light bulb and heater that never work, and loves a woman in the next village, but will never be able to marry her. And the uppity green lizards on the ancient stone wall by your house, staring at you way too long, blinking, doing their little push-ups to tell you whose wall it is. And when you look at them, you're sure you hear a voice chattering in your head saying, "We're so pretty, Brad. Don't you think so? Don't you wish you were as pretty as we, and as brave? Don't you wish you had scales instead of skin, just like us?" Or the 3 witches that live in stone huts in the olive groves and poison cats. Or the tiny village of Magusa up the hill, its red doorways barely big enough to let men through. Or things that should not walk the groves under the moon do walk them, and a baby cries in the night forever. Or the old German hospital 2 coves down the coastal road that isn't as empty as people think it is. Or the strange girl who makes designs in the sand with seashells and can make those seashells dance in the air if she likes you, if she has chosen you to be the one who will die with her. Or the great stag and the quiet owl in the sacred forest your parents take you to when you fall ill, praying for you, though they never pray. Or the rash you get from the sea, the one that will not go away, that wants to change you forever. And why wouldn't this village, charming Lerici by the sea, have magic? It is the village where, according to local legend, the writer Mary Shelley dreamed the dream that became her story, about a monster who, brought to life by a scientist, only wanted love. And the same village where, whether she dreamed her dream there or not, her husband, the great romantic poet Percy Shelley, did drown, returning in his boat one night from the carnival city of Viareggio, having seen portents of his own death for weeks before. If it had magic for them, as it did for Neolithic people 6,000 years ago, who used the hole in the great stone cliff near the village to view the constellation Cassiopeia, why wouldn't it for a boy, one who didn't yet know how like death magic can be?